Hey, it's Monday. Monday, and you're on the internets. This is the Savannah Performance Project, the interview, and welcome. I brought my black backdrop back. I know a lot of people were missing this. It's just so neutral, and I love neutral, so that's why I put that up there. It's been a crazy weekend. I'm not going to lie. Every weekend is crazy now. I think we're just living in the time of crazy. And aren't you so glad that you can be here with me while I go crazy? Not really, but I'm here for you always in a meta presence sense. I'm here with you now, and we're here, and we're going to talk about performance. We're going to talk about theater. We are going to talk about the Savannah Reperatory Theater with the brand new director of new works, Michael Jacinto. Did I get that right? No, but he's going to tell me how to pronounce it in just a minute. So it's all good. And he's waiting backstage. He has filled up on every fruit that I could find available here in the Savannah area. It's mostly grapes, but you know, what are you going to do? That's what was in season. Was it in season? I don't even know if it was in season. I just found a lot of grapes. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Michael.
Hello, Jacinto.
Jacinto.
That's it. Jacinto. Yep.
There you go. Silent
Yeah.
J.
Yeah.
So I got to be honest. I was doing my research on you.
On me?
Yes.
You can do research on me? Where?
Well, you have a website.
Not much. There's not. But
no. There is another. Michael.
I mean, you like it? It's very colorful.
Yeah, it is. It's a great, colorful website. But before I found your website, there is another Michael Jacinto.
There is?
Yes.
Is he more famous than me?
I wouldn't say more famous. I would say there's more of him on the internet. He would be Manny Jacinto.
Oh yeah, he's a TV actor.
Yes,
he's exactly. Got it. He's fine.
He's all right.
He's there.
He's there. Okay. Well, you're gonna get there. I am absolutely sure of it. And okay, before we get to the business of the show, I've got to answer this question. Ryan McCurdy, this is backdrop number 9, I think.
Hi, Ryan. Is this live? Hi.
Nice it is live. So people can actually
people
comment.
Like come and say stuff?
They can.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, so if you have anyone that you want to talk to, now's the time. Send that invite out there. Say, hey, I'm live right now on the interwebs.
Okay.
Yes, and I do have classy guests. You're right. You do as well, Ryan, because I believe you have been on Ryan's show, correct?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Ryan's a great guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome.
I could talk about how awesome he is for hours, but we're not here to talk about him. We're here to talk about you.
Okay.
So tell me, how did you first get interested in the idea of performance?
Okay. Well, it was
that's a big question. I know.
No. It's like there's a clear story there. So that's good. It's I was a very rambunctious kid. I had lots of ADHD. Still do, but it's okay. It's under control because I'm grown now, which is great. So I had lots of energy running around, but I don't like getting hit. So I really didn't get to I didn't do a lot of sports.
Right.
Because the balls hit you and it hurts.
Yeah.
And I'm not about that. Getting hurt, hate it. So
I moved myself. I
was like, this is transition. Okay. My parents put me in acting class, and All About Us Theater Company. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts originally.
Boston, Mass.
Yep, I'm from Boston, Mass. I got the bug from there. I had my first role. My first role was Noah in Oliver.
Oh, cool.
When I was 8. So instead of him being like a big bully, they made me like a spoiled brat instead. So, and then, it just kind of kept on going and I never stopped.
So when did you first become interested in dance as an art?
Well, I mean, always, from when I was I remember. I remember the first time I said, "Oh my God, boys can do like ballet," was when there's a show. Like, you know, if any millennials are out here, remember Gullah Gullah Island? There was a show called Gullah Gullah Island with a big yellow frog, and it was amazing. And like one of the little girls in the family went to ballet class, and there was a boy there, and I was like, "Oh, look at that!" Originally, I wanted to be an ice skater.
Oh, really?
You should see what type of kid I was. It's like, I mean, I wanted to be an ice skater because I thought it was really cool. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. That never worked out. I don't remember. You know, I think, but like my parents thought it was a phase, you know, they were, you know, it's all good now, but like they didn't want to put me in, you know, ballet classes or anything. So like, you know, because they thought it was a phase. But they did put me in acting instead. So, you know, I still got a taste of it, you know.
Right.
Through like musical theater, but I didn't start my professional training until I was actually 16. I went to Boston Arts Academy, like the performing arts high school in Boston, and I started off as a theater major there, acting, but I was very serious at that time. I was a very serious actor at that time when I was like 14. You know, I used to go to these I used to get scholarships to these like schools, like these like prestigious summer camps or whatever that I used to go to, and like, you know, I was very like serious, and it's not like the other kids in like the theater were in the theater department were not serious. They just weren't used to the work yet, you know, and I was a little bit more experienced, at least in, you know, theater work and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So the class, I found it challenging, you know, to kind of like be in that theater class because, you know, everybody was very loud and everybody was very rambunctious, and like most of them knew each other and I didn't, and, you know, and I found that like, and the dance department, they had more like structure and technique, and that's what I wanted at that time. So I went up to the assistant principal and I was like, I want to switch to dance. And they're like, okay. And I did my trial class, and I remember my first ballet class. I was 15. Hot mess, but I'm sure, you know, who wasn't at that time. And yeah, they saw potential. And, you know, I started my professional dance training my sophomore year.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you've been, you mostly center your choreography on classical skills, or is it, do you try to mix in a lot of contemporary stuff?
Well, my dance training is strictly like modern and ballet. I was actually very akin to ballet. Like I used to go to like some summer ballet programs and stuff. Like and I was good. I was pretty good, you know, but like, you know, body standards, so on and so forth. You know, I'm not like, I mean, I was never a very hench guy. I was never a very cut guy. And when I was, especially when I was working professionally, I had to work very, very, very hard for it. It's like naturally, that's just not how my body is. So like, I mean, I kind of like came to a lot of those type of problems. So like, you know, so like the classical ballet, like even though I loved it, you know, that type of like stuff didn't really, you know, look the way I wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even though like I'm sure I could still choreograph that now. So like, but that's what I knew. I didn't really start getting into like more contemporary and commercial stuff until college, because my college was literally the opposite. It was a commercial school. It wasn't it was a commercial like dance conservatory. It wasn't like contemporary, or it wasn't like ballet based or anything. It was, you know.
And where was that?
Liverpool, England.
Oh, okay.
The Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
so
but more recently, you were in Barcelona, correct?
Yeah. Well, 2 years. What day is? Where are we?
We're in 2020. 2020.
I started 2017. Whew.
Okay.
Yeah. Then that was my master's degree, so I did that for a year. But like that's where I kind of really honed into, you know, what my aesthetic was as a choreographer and as a director and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, I like to mix. So right now, yeah, I do really like to mix, you know, more contemporary. I mean, I kind of stay out of the classical world. You know, I haven't really been there in a long time. More contemporary musical theater and like commercial. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was checking out your website, which I think you use Wix to create your website, right?
Yeah.
That is not a plug. I just know that that's like a platform that people use.
Yeah.
But I noticed one video in particular called Velvet Rage. Am I getting that right?
Oh, ouch. Yeah. I love
Yeah.
that one. Oh my God.
I love the film aspect of it, but then
Thank
I
you.
went and found on your Instagram account. Now I admit I'm a stalker. It's true.
No, it's fine.
I found the actual performance that's associated with
There's
that.
a stage version. Mhm.
Yeah, amazing, just
Really?
amazing.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
very much so. I mean, I got the feel of it from the film itself, but it wasn't until I actually saw the people on stage interacting with what was going on in the film.
You know what? You want to hear something? I got a 6. Okay, the not to like kind of like take it back, but
sure,
I appreciate it, but like my teachers did not understand it at all. They didn't get it. Oh yeah, they didn't get it at all. In the like the UK like grading system, it's a little different.
Yeah,
it's scaled. So like let's say like 70 would be like an A, and everything down would be like its equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a B- on that. I'm really upset. Yeah, I got a B- on that. I got a 63.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they said I didn't use advanced enough film editing techniques because I only used the iMovie.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that's the only thing I know how to use. And Pro Tools was locked. I didn't have any access to Pro Tools or anything, and I didn't have anybody to teach me how to use it. And every time I wanted to go and try to use it, the computer lab was locked. So what am I supposed to do?
Right.
So I used iMovie.
Right.
And I think, especially since that was like my first music video I've ever done, that was the first time shooting, editing, directing. That was my first time doing anything like that. So I think the product came out very well.
Well, kudos to you on that.
Yeah, so they can,
it's done now. You're out. It's cool. It's cool. And they're not. I don't think they're watching either. If they are watching,
they're not watching. I don't care. It's fine.
But anyway, anybody who is watching, you check it out.
I appreciate it.
Your Instagram account. If you want me to share it, I can.
Yeah, you can go ahead and share it. Absolutely.
Yeah. What is it? It's at.
I'll write it down in the chat.
Yeah. Do that. But yeah, it was very cool, very cool. And I'm a huge fan of So You Think You Can Dance. I've watched it for years, and I would put that on par with any of the performances I've seen on there.
That means a lot, dude.
Yeah.
No, that actually means a lot. Thank you. That's very high. Like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that means a lot. Thank you.
No problem, man.
And I'm glad you got it. Did you get it?
I did get it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There was definitely some back and forth there, and I could see you put your whole heart into it. So.
Yeah, I was trying to, you know what though? It's the music, man. It really has anything to do with me. If it was a different song, the whole show would have had the whole thing had a different feel. It's that particular song is just like it's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it gives you a lot to work with, and that's what I really appreciated about that artist. Her name's Loreen. She's like Moroccan and she's from like Sweden.
Okay, I'm gonna do a quick web search on this. Loreen, you say?
Yeah, Loreen.
Reen from Sweden.
Yeah, she's incredible.
Okay, Loreen from Sweden, Swedish singer Loreen. She's one name, right?
Oh yeah, she's incredible.
All right, so I'm gonna share her Spotify list here real quick. Let's see if I can do it.
I mean, she's very intense. You have to be in like a mood to watch her. If you're feeling very introspective, or if you're feeling very like this, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is feeling that way right now. No one is being introspective right now.
Oh,
I'll say that.
Oh no, I'm sure everybody's just fine and dandy.
Yeah. So great, man. I mean, I'm so happy that you have decided to come here and help us out with our mission of whatever we're doing. We don't know what we're doing, but thank you for helping us out with that. Us
Savannah?
as a whole, Savannah. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we had a community meeting not
Yeah.
too long ago.
How did that go for you?
I thought it was really cool.
You liked it?
Yes, just the fact that we could get everybody in one room talking, I thought was amazing. We hadn't done it yet, or if we had done it, it had been a long time since we had done it. I think the last time we did anything like that was actually Ryan McCurdy had got everybody together over at the Children's Theater in their black box.
Right.
Okay. And we haven't
Yeah.
done anything since then. So I appreciate both you and Ryan for putting that together. And I hope we continue the conversation.
And we got props to Jen too, because she did a lot of the work as well.
Jen
Bishop.
Oh, Jen Bishop.
Yeah.
Either. Both are great Jens.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
Great, I guess. I don't know the other one, but like
Jen you will meet very soon.
I feel like I saw her on the Zoom.
She was on the Zoom.
I feel like I saw her on the Zoom, but like I didn't get to hear a lot from the Zoom people.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What questions do you have for me about Savannah? What have you discovered here, and what do you want to discover here?
In what context? Because there's a tourism context, there's like a demographics context, there's a theater performing arts context, like, what's like.
Okay, well, let's talk about tourism for a minute.
Yeah, okay.
So
do I have any questions about
absolutely.
Well, I mean, I don't know, like the whole history, the whole history of the town seems pretty clear to me.
Yeah. We were founded in a certain way, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the first time I've ever been in a place that was so kind of like rooted in that energy, and I felt it. And I'm talking about slavery. Yeah. So just so we're clear, so I'm not trying to beat around the bush about it. You know what I'm saying? No. It was, and I'm part black and I'm part black and I'm part Puerto Rican. So like, but my father, he was, he's an army brat. So he was, but brought up in like Kansas and like Virginia and stuff. Like, and my grandparents are from like Chicago and Detroit. So like, we don't really have a lot of like ties to the South, but like, I still felt connected there somehow, which was like, especially when we saw a lot of the relics of like the past, I mean, I feel like Savannah's very respectful of it. I mean, at least from what I've seen, which I think it's great. I mean, I don't know how much stake I can say like as a Northerner, because we have our own things we got to deal with.
Yeah,
but
we all do.
Yeah. But like I learned. I mean, I did learn. I learned quite a bit. You know. I mean, I learned quite a bit about how, we lived back then. And I went to, oh my God, what's that house called? It has green shutters. It's the Lafayette.
Somebody's going to answer. Somebody's in the chat right now. They're going to be able to answer this.
Yeah, Lafayette.
We just have to wait 1 minute and then it'll catch up.
Okay. I don't remember.
Is it on Lafayette Square? Is that what you're saying?
No, something Lafayette lived there or stayed there or something like that. And it was basically like, it was a house with like slave quarters. And Jen took me to tour it. And there was, tours, it was a tour about, that's it. Yeah, that's what it's called. Thank you.
Owens Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a tour, about like the quarters and like the house and how they lived there and, the innovations that were in the house and stuff like that. And I found that very interesting. I mean, I'm coming from Boston, like I'm kind of like akin to like a lot of the historical stuff because that's, I've been to like Plymouth Rock. I've done all that, but a lot of it didn't really tie to like slavery like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all of us up here are like, people up. I live in Albany right now, so I can't really say up here. I mean, I'm more up here than Boston is, but like, like they're mostly Boston kind of like pats itself on the back because of like the Underground Railroad, and especially, Boston has more liberal roots than obviously down there in terms of like the relations between like black people and white people and stuff,
Right.
So that's kind of like what I'm used to, but like, they made it very clear. Yeah, it was a really shitty time and we treated black people like like we know we treated them, and they're
Right.
I appreciated that acknowledgement, because they didn't really turn away from like what the issue was,
Yeah.
So like, but it's very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I had nothing to do with it, but yes, I agree. I totally agree.
As a whole, I mean, like you ask anybody who saw me there, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was so picturesque in the Spanish moss. I can't. Whoa. I was like, I've never seen trees like that before.
Yeah.
Never,
Don't. One tip though: don't pick it up and put it anywhere on your body. Just so you know.
Why? Does it grow on you or anything?
No. There's like
Does it hurt?
there's a specific bug that lives in that mossy stuff that will make you itch forever.
Oh no, we don't like that.
Yeah.
No.
So I guess up there you might call them midgies. Is that no?
Sure. Yep. Midgies. Yep. Yeah, but
there's another word. I can't remember the other word is.
I don't know, but like anything that makes me itch, I want to stay away from.
Yeah.
But like, okay, here's another question, I guess, is what do you feel like? I mean, I feel like we did touch on this. I'm going to kind of like switch over the subject.
Sure,
back
absolutely.
To like theater.
Open forum. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like, I mean, what do you feel like is missing in terms of stories in Savannah? I'm really not quite sure what you do, Chris Bass. So can you like kind of like tell me?
I love that question. Wow.
So you could kind of like tell me like what's up? Because I clearly did not do my research.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I figured Ryan would fill you in, but Ryan has not been doing his job. He's fired.
Oh no, he's been fun. No, he's been fine. He's with his parents. He's with his family. I'm not bothering him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I have to. Sometimes my daughter wanders in the room while I'm doing this stuff, so she's going to come show her latest creation to everybody on the internet. Bring it over here, Molly.
My daughter's here too.
Oh, is she?
No, my cat.
Oh, your cat. I also have cats. Molly has created this hat for me. I'm not really sure what this is about. She just knocked my earbud out, so I can't hear what you're saying.
Yo, bucket hats are coming back in.
What is this, Molly? What?
It's a bucket hat.
It is a bucket hat.
It didn't work.
No,
I don't know what I did wrong.
You gotta.
It's got these two layers right here.
It does. It has two layers.
On purpose?
Okay.
For stability.
For stability, she says.
You got to seam those together.
Yeah. Are you a seamstress as well?
No.
Okay. Yeah. She's I don't know. She's gotten on this hat kick, so she's creating hats now.
This is my first hat.
I think it looks honestly, I think it looks great. I like the double layer of it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, Molly. Yeah, she can't hear you, but I can hear you. He said he really likes it. He likes the double layering. He thinks it looks really cool.
I think it looks really cool. You should keep on going with that.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Keep going. No, she's trying. So she goes to a performing arts school.
Oh yeah,
high school.
The Savannah Arts High School.
Savannah Arts Academy. Yes, I don't need to wear it the whole time, do I?
I know.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, so she's going there for voice.
Mm-hmm.
But she also is a member of the Thespian Society, right? Yeah.
Oh, do they go and like do those performances and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, I never did that.
Oh.
No, I've never did that.
Well, she hasn't done it yet either. She has a chance to, but of course this year not. I think it's like all virtual, whatever.
Well, make sure she wins.
I will win, Molly. Win all your competitions.
Win everything.
Win everything. All the things. This is what Michael's saying to me.
Yeah.
Win. Well, Ryan says SAS level 100% from Bass. I don't know what that means. Okay. What were we talking about before this hat came in here?
I was changing the subject to theater.
Just leaving with the other. Yes, to theater. Yes.
Yeah, no, Sheila's rolling around right now.
Yours is?
Yeah, Sheila's rolling around right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
she's feeling very comfortable, which is great.
Nice.
So I'm leaving her alone. I'm not going to pick it up or anything.
Cool.
But like anyway, yeah. So I was like, switching the subject back to theater because like, I mean, me as like Oh, and you were going to talk a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Right. I was going to tell you who I am, why I do this.
Who are you? Because I mean, I didn't really see your face either, and it was a mask. It's like the first time I saw. Like we had a conversation. Like we didn't even talk during the meeting. Really, I didn't really talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So my road to this has been kind of strange, but because of the fact I started theater when I was 40.
Beautiful.
So that's been about 10 years now. So I'm 50 something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started when I was 40 because my son was he was getting involved in a class in theater. He didn't like it. While I was at the theater, one of the people there asked if I was interested in auditioning for a show they were doing, and I was like, okay. And so that's how it all started.
Okay.
I've always been interested in being on stage, but that was the first time I'd ever been on stage at a children's theater. And since then, I've done shows with Savannah Rep. I've done shows at the Savannah Theater.
Oh, what'd you do at Savannah Rep?
I was in Driving Miss Daisy. I was the son, Bully, in Driving Miss Daisy.
Okay.
And then I was also Monsignor Ryan in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And at Savannah Theater, I've done 3 shows there: Les Mis, Mamma Mia, and Elf. And
they do like big shows there at the Savannah Theater, right?
They try to do big shows. They try to do book shows, but most of the time they do more. They do like Branson style,
cruise ship
style.
Yeah, review shows. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yes, and that is because of what how they make their money. I mean, that's the crowd that they get in. They try to do more book shows because that's what they like doing. Mm-hmm. But the crowd that they've developed is more akin to coming to the shows that are more like just a fun romp or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So so you started theater quite late, and then you got stuck into it. That's amazing.
I did. I got sucked in it.
It kind of does that.
Yeah. I would put it most close to doing drugs for me.
Oh.
Because when I'm up there, it's just you have that euphoric sense.
See, it's you know what I performing. Mm-hmm. See, I kind of like had a revelation this I don't know. I think I talked about this a little bit during the meeting, but like I had a revelation that like I actually don't like performing.
And that's cool. That's totally cool.
Which is interesting because like I see that you like you brighten up like during when you talk about it, and I think that's really great. Like that's how I feel when I talk about like directing. Because I'm like, oh yeah, see, because like for me, I like to watch stuff. I'm a very observant person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like whenever I was on stage, I was like, I wonder what this looks like. Always.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder what this looks like. I just want to see what it looks like.
Yeah. I totally feel that too. It's strange though, because I've been listening to a lot of podcasts lately, and it's all the podcasts right now are all these like either theater or TV or film people who aren't working right now. Mm-hmm. And so they started podcasting and talking about their shows and what they've done before. And I've noticed a trend with a lot of them where they're like, I love acting and I love being on stage, but what has really like cemented itself with me right now is talking to people, having conversations.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
It's really important, especially like now that we're not really allowed to go like face to face with like people you don't really know like that, Right. It's great that you're doing stuff like this. It's great that a lot of people are doing stuff like this now.
Yeah, I think it's the most important thing we can do is just keep the conversation going.
Exactly. So so what do you think, since I'm like, trying to source out new works for Savannah to see, and what do you feel like? I don't know, again, we talked about this a little bit during the panel, but like, so what type of stories do you think Savannah like needs?
I mean, I would agree with some of the thoughts that were shared then, that we do need some more diverse works coming up. ones that can cast more diversely than what I've seen. Now, I would also say that Collective Face has done a really good job of doing diverse shows, and David Poole, who's with Collective Face, who was at
I
the
remember
meeting.
him. Yeah.
They've done some great diverse shows.
What is a diverse show though? You know, what is that? What is a diverse show?
So I would say it would
Are you talking about like LGBTQ? Are you talking about race? Are you talking about like, I don't know, socioeconomics? Are you talking about like writers? Or are you talking about like, you know, there's a lot of stuff to kind of like consider,
right?
You know, because one, you can do a show written by a white person and cast it diversely, or however people say colorblind, or people say color conscious. I think color conscious is like the PC thing to say now. You know, it always changes. You know,
it does.
You know, it is what it is. But like, you know, yeah. Was that a question? I forgot what I said. I forgot what I was talking about. I lost.
So you were asking me what type of shows are we lacking?
And, yeah. Okay, so like, why do you think there hasn't been a lot of diverse shows there in Savannah, or diverse shows, or whatever diversity means to you? Like, how come you feel like the people haven't been? Because I've heard a lot of excuses, to be honest, and I want to call them excuses because like I feel like, you know, there's kind of a disregard to the I mean, look, and mind you, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Excuse me. Like, I'm an outsider.
Yeah.
So anybody can, you know, if anyone wants, you know, gets mad or what
jump in, tell us.
But like,
say now.
I mean, I kind of just sense that like people, you know, yeah, they need to make money. I get it, but like, kind of people discounting Black stories because they don't feel like they're going to make any money. That's how I feel. That's what I've heard a lot of. I've heard of a lot of. Oh, well, you know, we want to do more diverse shows, but we also have to do shows that people know. I'm like, okay, yeah, but like nobody told you to do a Mamma Mia with an all-white cast.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody told you to do that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about diversity. You haven't seen diversity until it's been pushed up in your face with this whole George Floyd stuff and Black Lives Matter. Now all of a sudden you care. And I find that a little, you know, in New York, you know, you say fugazi. I find it a little like, well, so why all of a sudden, because of COVID and everything popping off, why didn't you care 2 years ago? Why do you only care now? Why is this a conversation now? Or was this a conversation in Savannah before? And I'm not even talking about Savannah in general, because I don't really have a lot of information about the theater politics there. I'm sure it's very complicated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's just the same thing everywhere, even in the whole theater community as a whole. It's just kind of been like, oh, well, you know, everybody's all surprised that like I can even attest for myself as like a person of color, as an actor, you know, being told to spice it up a little bit because, you know, when I auditioned for West Side Story, the director told me, I mean, I booked it, so that's good. But like, you know, the director came up and told me during the finals, like, hey, spice it up a little bit because, you know, you're one of the only Latinos here and I want them to see the flavor. And I was like, okay, great. Is that who I am to you? I've also like in my time acting, like I really never played a part that really didn't have to do with my race aside from Larry in a chorus line, you know? Yeah. So like it kind of makes me feel like, okay, I mean, that's part of the reason why I stopped too, because it's like, I just don't want to put my body on display for these people anymore. Why? Just so they can think that I am one thing or am the other thing. Like I'm not like a fully like centered person. I'm like a person that could play a hood person, or I can play, you know, like, you know, a 1960s Black person or something like that, because that's really all the roles that we have, unless you like cast outside, and it's whack, you know. So like, I mean, you know, a lot of people don't really put that in the consideration of like experiences of you know, an actor of color. And I'm not gonna make myself a victim, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm not, but this is just, you know, when I did West Side Stories, it was an extremely triggering experience for me, you know, because I'm on stage being called this, you know, SPIC by people, and I'm not allowed to say anything back, not because I didn't have the words to, it's because I wasn't allowed the words to. Because like, what the heck is Stephen Sondheim going to write back as a Latino, or whoever wrote it, Arthur Lawrence? What the hell is he going to write
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
No, all they know how to do is just treat us like shit. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you know how to do, because that's all you've seen. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you know, in 1950s, whatever, in 1957, I believe, or whenever it came out, I mean, that was, you know, a very groundbreaking experience. But it had no Latinos in that opening Broadway cast, none.
Yeah.
Aside from Rita Moreno. Like, that's how we've been treated literally this whole entire time that theater's been like a thing. It's never really been for us.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that was a whole rant. But like,
no, it's good. It's good. I enjoyed it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like it hasn't really been for us. But so now that we're kind of transitioning into this new like era of wokeness or whatever, you know, now everybody's realizing that we have not been treated well in theater. Oh, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never really bothered to even see if we were doing okay during these times, or during these rehearsals and stuff, that we clearly felt like uncomfortable. You know, I have a director coming saying like, oh, this is how my father used to say it, Puerto Rican. Like you're saying that right in my face, that your father used to be racist. And you don't think I'm going to remember that? Or you don't feel like I'm going to feel some type of way about that? You know, but like, we weren't there to have an opinion. We were there to work.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't matter, you know, because they were paying us. At least, you know, and I feel like those are kind of some type of things. And I don't know if that's a white black thing. I'm not sure if that's a rich poor thing. I'm not sure who owns. I am sure because I met them. So like, I know like in Savannah who owns these theaters. And I know what they look like, but I will never know how, like, you know, I'm grateful for Jen and Eric and Ryan, definitely, because they've been so open with me around this subject. They've been so open to having like this discourse and like having these conversations that are tough. Because it's not like I'm trying to, you know, shit on white theater people. I'm not trying to do that.
Right.
It's just like, we really haven't been given the space to talk about how we felt.
Yeah.
You know, and now finally people are listening. And it's like, okay, well, might as well say what we got to say now. And now that I'm, you know, blessed to be in a position where I can start making changes like that, it's like, I know where I want to go from here, but like, how receptive is this town going to be to that? From what
I can tell you that I want to see these stories because I'm curious about it. I'm interested in it because of my upbringing, because I haven't seen that aspect of life. Yeah. And I would hope that other people would be too.
Yeah, but we can
only learn from it, you know?
Yeah, but a lot of people, right? And I'm, you know, I'm not going to get political, but because I'm not going to get political, but there's a lot of things out here that are inauthentic and untrue.
Yeah.
And a lot of
in this very space that we're in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people see people of color one way, where there are so many people of color that have not experienced or who have experienced but pushed past that, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit here and have you feel bad for me because, I've had a cop stop me before. A couple times, actually. It sucks. It's not great, you know? But I'm not going to define myself as that, you know, because I know I'm more than that, you know? And I don't want to see my people or like anybody who looks like me or even doesn't look like me, any white, whatever, you know? We have, like I said in the thing, we have real stories too. Not everything has to be about intersectionality or police brutality or even, you know, slavery. There's really like bad, horrible historical stuff that happened. There is a ministry for that. There are people who are dedicated to that ministry. But Savannah Rep is new works. That's new. I'm not going to do any new stuff about old stuff because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. It's like there is also an opportunity for us to elevate ourselves on stage and actually be like, you know, and give us and show the world or Savannah or whoever's listening the true sense of like what it means to be not only Black, but like, you know, ourselves as like individuals. That's why, you know, I'm kind of like seeking individual artists and, you know, writers and stuff like that that speak from a point of view, because I feel like that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's their point of view, not the point of view of a whole community. You know, because from what I've learned in all of this stuff that's going on, a community does not represent you. You represent yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to let anybody say like just because you know I identify as this, and this. I'm not going to let those communities represent me, because they have flaws like everybody does. You know what I'm saying? And like once you get grouped into that, you're never out of it.
Right. Right.
You know, and I'm being kind of vague here, but like, do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I mean, you are Michael
not to be like
Jacinto.
Yeah, that's it. And you're Chris Bass, and that's it. You know, and we both have our separate stories, and we both have separate point of views. You know, it's like, but also, and I feel like those point of views are interesting to share.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I always take into any conversation is that I have to have my ears open.
Yeah, same here, you know.
Because I may change my mind at any point during that conversation based on what someone's telling me. I
guess it just depends on like, I mean, whether you change your mind or not, at least you learn something about somebody.
Right.
You know, like I think that's pretty cool. And like, you know, especially learning something about someone in such a visceral experience as like a live show kind of is like, wow, you know, I've experienced that myself before. I feel like I got to know somebody. I did a play reading of this amazing show. And I feel like I got to know the writer. I've never seen this writer in my life, but I feel like I knew everything about him. Mm-hmm. And we're friends now. Because he shared so much of himself, but I felt it in such a real way that like, and that was through Zoom, man. I'm like, imagine if that was live. You know, that's the type of stuff I'm trying to kind of like look for. And but like, I mean, is there anything specific you think that Savannah kind of like needs to hear, or, you know, just so I can inform myself more from like somebody who is a part of the community that I can kind of like, you know, look out for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's hard for me to pin.
Or like, what do you want to see? What do you want to see?
What do I want to see?
Yeah. What do you want to see?
I'm easy, man.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to see a good story, really, and it could be from any point of view. Yeah, I'm probably the most watery person as far as that goes. I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't know. What does that mean?
Yeah. What does that mean? You being watery? I don't understand. I understand, but like, what does that mean?
I guess I like a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is a good story?
A good story involves
like, what does that do to you? Does it make you cry? Does it make you mad? Do you not feel anything? Do you feel escape?
I like to laugh. I like to laugh a lot. So.
Okay, so like, yeah, you know, because I'm so stark and horrible sometimes. Like, I don't even let myself. I don't watch any comedies or anything. It's really bad. Yeah, actually, you know what? Okay, you know what? I watched.
You're gonna admit something to me right now.
I did. No, I did. Last night, right? I was on Disney Plus because I'm never on there. I only bought it for Hamilton. You know, and then, you know, that Hamilton happened, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what else.
Now
I need
what?
Disney Plus for, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I had it, and I watched these two movies that were comedies, and I was like, let's see. And one was called Big Business, and it was
Okay.
from 1988, and it had Liz Tomlin. Was that her name?
Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin
Yes.
and Bette Midler, and they
Yes.
both played twins.
Yes, I know
One's
exactly
from-
the movie. Yes.
And I was like, I've never seen it before, and I was like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. And then I saw one called Life with Mikey that I've never seen before in my life from like the 90s, right? And it
Yeah.
had Michael J. Fox, I
Okay.
believe, who was like a child star who turned into an agent.
Yeah.
And there was this lead girl, her name Christina Vidal, who was like one of my favorite actresses growing up because she had this sitcom on Nickelodeon called Taina, which was my shit,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And it was like her first role,
Mm-hmm.
and I really enjoyed myself. I was like, oh, this was fun. Like, you know, I should let myself watch things like this more often.
You should. But I mean, you know, that's who I am. At my core is I try to make people smile. I try to like get that light out of them. So
that's beautiful.
Essentially, that's what I try to take in as well, as much as I can. I'm not a big horror film guy at all, but I do watch a lot of. Yeah, I guess you know I've kind of been watching that Lovecraft Country.
I haven't seen it. See, I'm not a sci-fi person.
Yeah.
I mean, I would watch the story without this like spaceships and the aliens and stuff. I can do without that. I've never been to like a spaceship alien or like fantasy or like Harry Potter or like superhero Marvel type of person. I've never been that person. For you know, I personally feel like it's kind of lame.
That's okay. We're all entitled.
I mean, like, and I hate to sound like judgmental, but like, oh my god, like I've told people that before, and like they get really upset. They're like,
no,
what?
You won't
I'm
hurt
like,
my feelings at all. I'm not.
Like, they're like, what? How dare you? I'm like, well, I mean, I'd rather watch a documentary about, you know, how people lost millions. So when I become a millionaire, that doesn't happen to me.
Exactly. Lesson learned, right?
I like to learn stuff like that. You know, those are my favorite ones, like Dirty Money and like American Greed and stuff like that. I love that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
very cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's not cool, but like it's you know, it's watching people scam people, which is kind of like bad. But you learn, because I don't know much about, like, I didn't really know much about money. Like I'm, you know, kind of starting a startup like makeup line actually that we got we got an angel investor for it. It's like kind of like developing. They're kind of buying.
Are you wearing any right now?
No.
Okay.
Look, it ain't about that. It's about, you know, it's about empowering people to, you know, wear what they want to wear. Mm-hmm. Whatever. It's called Nasty Beauty. It's going to come up soon. It's coming up soon.
Okay. All right. I think I've seen some pictures on your website.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what all those promo pictures that I did I did the creative direction for.
Mm-hmm.
It's for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So like so I'm developing it with my really good friend Savannah, and you know, we, again, like I said, we have people like kind of putting the formulations together so we can test them out and see, you know, we might have a product out by the end of next month, which is really exciting. So so I'm trying to learn more about business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like watch this type of stuff. I don't know how the conversation turned into a shameless plug for me, so I apologize for that.
That's all right. I kind of like to see, how would someone do a documentary on stage?
You know, that is a really good question.
Yeah.
I feel like there are ways to do it.
Like you could have the film style, but then have also that narrative quality on stage with, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I have it in my head, but I can't explain it now.
Yeah, I can't either.
Like, I mean, a lot of the things that I actually really enjoy, especially about like kind of like the new stuff that's coming out, the new directing styles and stuff like that, is very multimedia.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of live streaming and lots of like things that have to do with screens and stuff,
mm-hmm.
which I really enjoy. I mean, there's a way to like, you know, a documentary on stage. Let's say, okay, for example, a documentary on stage would be like Latin History for Idiots by John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
an amazing show.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a lot of history,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives him some. It kind of doubles back into his own personal life too.
Yeah.
And it's very well said. You don't really need anything but good writing and like, a voice,
And he puts humor in it too, right?
Oh yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, he's incredible. He's
Yeah.
like one of my favorite actors. Like, and that's an example. It's kind of hard to like pick it out in my brain, but I would say like, yeah, that would be an example of a documentary on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff. There's like what the Constitution means to me could be a documentary on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really seen that show. I don't know what it's about, but it kind of sounds like
a lot of one man, one woman show
Mm-hmm.
concepts can be done in that way, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, look, if you want to talk about our first kind of like thing that's coming up, we can, because we have like kind of our
let's
first
do
event.
it. Promo, yeah.
Yeah, like we have our first event coming up. I don't know what it's called yet, but it's a double bill of one artist and two very different pieces that he has like prepared for us that we're going to be start rehearsing soon and stuff. It's going to happen in February.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very different. I feel like people are going to really, really, really like it. I think it's going to be. I think people are going to really be really excited about it once they finish with the evening, because if we do it right, you're going to be experiencing a lot of stuff in one night.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be. I look forward to hearing more about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say for now.
Okay.
Because
more to come later.
Yeah, no, I just also don't want to blow up anybody's spot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I will say it's going to be a feast for the eyes, and it's going to be very different. And I think it's a good opening to like kind of like as a voice to what I would like to shape Savannah Rep New Works as, an incubator for experimentation, an incubator for artists to come and like really explore what their work is.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of the times, like, I mean, even artists as myself as a choreographer, I haven't really had a lot of time to kind of like explore who I am outside of like paying this amount of money to go to school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to pay for that.
Yeah.
I had to pay to find myself, so like, we're hopefully I want to give like artists opportunities to kind of like, say, okay, now I know a little bit more about who I am as an artist and as a choreographer or as a director. It is more dance based, I will say. I kind of wanted to stick to what I know, being from the commercial / like contemporary dance world, and then kind of like switching into like back into theater. I feel like it's a really interesting like point of view to come from. So I think people are going to really like it. I hope so.
Cool.
Yeah. It's very vague, but
push it when it comes, when I know more about it.
Oh yeah.
Let people know it's happening. But man, we have been talking for almost an hour now.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Crazy.
Was this productive for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So. I hope everybody has enjoyed the conversation as much as I have. It's even the rantiness. I love the rantiness. It's great.
Look, I'm a Gemini. All right. I can go on forever. I'm very passionate about this stuff.
Yeah, it's important. That's the most important thing you can be when it comes to theater and performance is passion.
Yeah, I've been doing this my whole life, man.
Leave now.
I mean, I'm too now I'm kind of stuck in it. It's kind of my job now, so it's like I gotta make sure I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I really appreciate you like wanting to come and speak to me. I hope I don't know. I hope I did good. You did
great. Yeah. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Okay.
If there's a conversation happening, I'm there, and people are there too, and they enjoy it.
Yeah.
Ryan has not said anything else. He may have gone to watch like Jeopardy or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Hey, we'll watch Alex. Let's watch Alex Trebek while we still can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
We gotta say, well, watch that guy totally. Staple. I love that. I love Jeopardy.
That's awesome.
It's like I used to watch that with my dad. It's like it's one of those like things like bonding things I used to do like with my family.
No, I'll call my mom and I'll be talking to her for a while. I said, "Oh, you're gonna go watch Jeopardy now?"
Oh yeah,
watch Jeopardy.
I know. I can switch anything into like a very deep like thing. I need to relax. I think I'm gonna go and watch one of those other movies now.
Watch one of those movies, one of those awful '80s movies on Disney Plus.
Oh my god, I was so impressed by it, by the Big Business one. I was like, this is actually like really fun.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm sorry. I was just very impressed by it. I thought it was great.
It's a great movie. Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin. Oh my god,
like, wow,
great.
Okay,
They're
guys.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man. Again, I've enjoyed this so much. Thanks for joining me tonight and just having just a great conversation about
I appreciate
everything.
that too, sir. Like hopefully, and I'm gonna be back down hopefully by the end of this year, early next year. So like, hopefully we can have a conversation like this in person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finally. Okay. Yeah, I would love to.
All right.
Cool
deal.
Okay.
Michael, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna give my little sign off. If you want to hang out for a minute, just like chat afterwards, we can do that. Or
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
Cool. All right. See you in a minute.
Alrighty. Bye-bye. Bye everyone.
Bye. Michael Jacinto. Great guy. And I hope you've enjoyed this. Man, this has been a great conversation. I've really enjoyed this. And I hope you have too. Tomorrow we will be back, and Mickey Sodergren is going to be coming back to us for the third time. She's a three-timer. Mickey Sodergren, amazing singer, amazing artist, and the director, something American Traditions Competition, which is coming up. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. Until then, have a wonderful evening and sitcom free.